Okay, maybe we did a thing. Okay, so fun fact. It wasn't the fact that I changed any of the settings, it's the fact that my camera is about to take a dump. But you know what? That's okay, because this is what happens when you stream with the tools that are available to you. So, let's try this again, shall we? Good morning, and thank you for joining me this morning on Motivation, Meditation, and Coffee with Kat. I am Kat. I am your transformational life coach, and welcome. Streams are not without some technical difficulties sometimes. As I was mentioning earlier, next week, I think I'm going to officially start getting into variety streaming. As a transformational life coach, most recently, I have been connecting with some professional streamers that have been asking me to help support them with their in-character stresses and anxieties that are now starting to negatively affect their out-of-character lifestyle, which we all know is not cool. If you start to have splash damage from your role play or your in-game situations, and it starts to affect your real-life situations, that's not cool, yo. And so while I was helping them, I realized that, you know what? There's actually a lot of people out there that just like hanging out with other people online. Am I gonna be a professional streamer? I don't think so. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna be doing things in a different light. So again, we will always have this morning stream. We will always have our together time from 7 to 8 in the morning, where we will be releasing denial. We will be working on self-care and doing some breath work and shielding so that you can get yourself ready for the day. And we'll be doing morning motivation with meditation and that kind of fun stuff. But then throughout the day, maybe we'll have, as I was saying earlier before we did the hard reset, maybe we will have some Diablo and chill, and we can play some Diablo together, and we can just have a big conversation, and maybe even some enlightening conversation of, I always liked playing this character because of X, Y, or Z, or I remember back in the day, just some nice reflection and some cool community time. Maybe there will be some TTRPG and chill, where you guys can hang out with me while I work on my Fallout RPG that I am working on. It is going to be obviously situated in the post-nuclear wastelands of the Grey Bruce, but maybe you guys can hang out with me for that. And so because I'm going to be getting into some variety streaming, I also needed to change some of the platforms that I use. So I stopped using OBS and I started flipping over to Streamlabs. Neither of these platforms are sponsors, but I'm just letting you guys know, this has always been a very transparent conversation and letting you guys know what's going on and what we're up to. So once I finally figure out how to Streamlab, you will be able to send bits my way. You will be able to cheer. You will be able to send tips. You can always hit the subscribe button if you are a Prime member. You can subscribe for free with your Prime membership, because you do get a free Prime membership with Twitches. So you can link those two together and you can support me with Prime. If you are a YouTube watcher, you will still have access to all of my meditation streams, because the videos, if I can figure out how to stream live on both Twitch and YouTube at the same time, 100% you will still be able to watch me live. And that's what I'm going to be working on this week. If I can't figure out how to do it, then the video on demand, or the VODs, if you will, they will always be available as soon as I finish streaming on Twitch. They'll be available right away on the YouTubes for your viewing pleasure, whether or not you watch me live first thing in the morning, or if you watch me maybe before you go to bed. Maybe my dulcet, soothing tones help you go to sleep. But whichever way, again, I am always trying to make myself as accessible to everybody as I possibly can, because I understand that schedules suck donkey balls. So, with all of that being said, I look forward to hanging out with you guys more. I look forward to our community growing. I'm working on building a Discord for the Live with Advantage community, and maybe that will start getting us some more community interaction, and we can all hang out and help each other to live with advantage. See what I said there? But with that being said, if you also want to join my Patreon, you get some really cool stuff there as well. There are 3 levels of my Patreon that you can join. Some super cool things are happening with the Live with Advantage brand name, and I am super hopeful and super excited that you guys are coming on this journey with me. So you can tell that I am just a ball of energy today, because I have all of this exciting news that I shared with you, and I want to keep riding that coattail. I want to keep this energy, and I want to share it with you. So because I am in this amazing state of excitement, joy, pride, and wholeness and divinity, I invite you now to take that quick drink of coffee, and I want you to close your eyes and hear this amazing music that I have switched up to. And I want you to think now of a time when you were super, super happy, you were super, super proud, super, super joyful. Go back to a time that no matter what kind of a mood you are in, it brings a smile to your face. When you were as confident as ever, when you were happy as ever, your face was sore from smiling so much. Go back to that time now, and I want you to hear what you heard, see what you saw, felt what you felt. Feel all of those feelings of happiness and joy and that energy. And I want you to feel that now, and while you are feeling that, while you are in that state of energetic bliss, I want you to touch your left earlobe. I want you to touch the left earlobe, and I want you to picture all of that positive energy flowing through you, all of that happiness, all of that pride, all of that wholeness flow through you into that specific point in your left earlobe. And once you are at the point where you can start to feel the energy start to drain, you're at the point where you can feel that energy start to slip away, let go. And take a breath. and relax. And again, I want you to go choose a different event this time. Choose an event that you were so happy, that you were so joyful, so wholesome, so prideful. Your face was sore from smiling so much. Your belly was sore from laughing so much. And I want you to feel the feelings, hear the sounds, smell the smells. Really put yourself back into that moment and remember exactly why it made you so happy to be there. And when you're at the peak of those feelings, grab that left earlobe again. Grab that left earlobe and feel all of the joy and happiness flow through you into that left earlobe. And just when you can feel all of those feelings start to wane, let go. And take a calming breath. Relax. And just let your mind wander on those two events. Just let your mind wander and remember and reflect on those events. And allow yourself to feel this feeling of joy. Allow yourself to encompass your whole being, your whole physical body in this positive shield. And when you're ready, open your eyes. So, ladies and gentlemen, we just created an anchor. Wow, that was bad English. We just created an anchor. An anchor is something that we create so that when we find ourselves starting to lose control, when we find ourselves starting to become overwhelmed, you can now grab that left earlobe, because you have put all those feelings of joy, pride, wholesomeness, excitement, you have now anchored all of those feelings to that one spot. Is it as strong as we want it to be? Not always. But we can reinforce that anchor. Anchor. Woof. We can reinforce the anchor every time you're happy. Grab that left earlobe. Every time you are doubling over with laughter, every time your face is sore from smiling so much, every time you find yourself in a state of happiness and joy, grab that anchor. And then every time you're sad, every time you feel yourself falling down a rabbit hole of despair, or when you just need to pick me up, when something is starting to really frustrate you and you just need to take a minute, grab that anchor. Because every time you trigger that anchor, you're going to think back, oh yeah, I remember that time. I remember that time when Kat was going absolutely batshit insane on her stream because she was so happy that she was going to play Diablo for a bunch of people. Weird. But that's going to cause the cascade effect. That is going to cause the cascade effect of, oh yeah, I remember when Kat was being an idiot. I remember when she told me to think back to that time when I was really, really happy and really, really proud. And that's going to take you back to that time when you were really, really happy and really, really proud. And when you go back to that time, you're going to feel all of those energies flow through you. You're going to feel all of the feelings. Anchors are amazing, and there are so many different anchors that we can build to help us get through the day. Hold on, I can't feel my ankles, so I need to switch around. I apologize for the shuffling if you can hear it. There are many different anchors that we can build. There is obviously the positive anchor that we just built. And it doesn't have to be your left earlobe. If you want to build an anchor and you want to put it somewhere else, that is 100% up to you. There are anchors to bring you out of states of deep depression. There's what's called a anchor ladder. And I was taught to build it on knuckles, but I find that sometimes knuckles can get brushed, and when you anchor something that is textile, you don't want to accidentally hit it, because that could be bad. But I'll use this as an example anyway. So you have an anchor, and you have a ladder. So here, you might be really, really depressed. You might be really, really sad. And so we build an anchor. We do build an anchor where you're very, very sad, very, very depressed. And then we build an anchor where you're not so sad, you're not so depressed. We build an anchor where you're neutral, where you're you, and you're accepting of the situation that's happening. Oh, camera angles. You're accepting of the situation that's happening. And then we have a positive anchor that allows you to remember that you are nothing but pure, unconditional joy and love. You are you. You are authentic. And contrary to popular opinion, you are human. And you're allowed to be sad. And so we use the anchor ladder to go from sad to not sad. There are anchors we can use to calm our breathing when we are feeling a panic attack come on. There are anchors we can use that help us when the rule of 3 doesn't necessarily apply. 3 things you can hear, 3 things you can feel, 3 things you can smell, 3 things you can touch. That is a classic grounding technique that people use, I use, when I'm about to hit a panic attack. And sometimes it's just not enough. So there are anchors we can build that allow you, that as soon as you touch that spot, allows your breathing to return to normal. It allows your heart rate to return slowly, but it allows it to return. It allows you to calm yourself to the point where maybe the panic attack is still at bay, but allows you to get to your emergency medication. So, enough about anchors, enough about, panic attacks and that kind of stuff. I want to keep riding on this energy, and I hope that you are just as excited for what's going to be coming up in the future as I am. Again, if you want to support me in any way, there is the free subscription you get through your Amazon Prime through Twitch. There is a bits system that as soon as I figure out, I will be able to explain to everybody. There is a Patreon that you can subscribe to where you get access to free stuff, and this is just the beginning. I had an epiphany over the weekend when I was working with somebody, and I realized this. While shit had gone sideways for me over January, it wasn't a negative aspect. It wasn't your career's invalid. It showed me that I could make a shift. And maybe this is what we need. So, my challenge for you guys this week was communication. My challenge for you guys this week was How do you communicate? Do you rely solely on your words to get your point across? Or do you also blend in facial expressions, body language, posture, tonality, emphasis? How do you communicate? Because how you communicate is your response ability. The argument is always that communication is a two-way road. That's true. That being said, the two-way road is also made up of two one-way lanes. And if you are not able to take responsibility for your lane and your way of communication, then you can easily become in conflict. When you don't stay in your lane, what happens? The cars collide. So, I challenged you yesterday with the pre-frame that only 7% of the words that we use are actually accepted. Only 7% of the words that I'm saying right now are getting through your consciousness and being absorbed. The rest of it is all with my tonation, the inflection in my voice, the emphasis on the words that I'm saying, the facial expressions if you're actually watching me. Because not only do we perceive things, we hear, see, smell all of these events, and our unconscious takes those, deletes and distorts and generalizes. And so what does that mean? It means that if you put yourself in an event, your unconscious is only going to remember things based on the acronym VACOG, but it's going to remember things based on your sensory projections. And it's going to distort the event based on those projections. I have something in my eye and it is not my finger. Be quiet, Mark. So, if we are going to be talking, let's say we're having a conversation outside of a Tim Hortons. Okay. There are 4 of us. Okay. And one person is talking. Not a problem. While you feel that you are paying attention to what they're saying, you're seeing, you're visualizing how they're standing. How are they standing? Are they standing in open posture? Are they standing in closed posture? Are they making eye contact with everybody, or are they staring at the ground? Are they looking up to the left, or are they actually, are they paying attention to what they are saying? Do they have a tell? Everybody has a tell when they are doing improv. I'm just going to leave my glasses off for now. Everybody has a tell when they are doing improv. And when we start to trigger our tell, we start to believe that what we are saying is not true. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry that I am spending the last 2 minutes dealing with my eye. And this is a perfect example of communication. I am trying to hold a conversation with you guys, but you're paying attention to me fiddling with my eye. You are paying attention to the inflection in my voice, saying, what the hell is wrong with her? And if you weren't immediately watching me, you looked at the screen to see why my words were all sorts of screwed up. And I was not paying attention to what I was saying because I was more concerned about getting whatever it was in my eye out of my eye. So, perfect example is that it wasn't what I was saying, it was how I was saying it that got your attention to look back at the picture. It's not necessarily how we say things that cause conflict. Or what we say that causes conflict, it's how we say it. And so to get back to the group of people analogy, when someone is speaking and they are closed off and they're looking at the ground, do you think they're confident in what they're saying? Are you going to believe them? What tonality are they using? What words are they even saying? You're paying attention to 7% of them, but the rest of it is your visual. You are paying attention to what they look like physically, how they're holding themselves. You are paying attention to the smells around you, because, believe it or not, if you are in a place that smells bad and it's triggering, your senses, where you're paying more attention to trying not to vomit than you are to what somebody is saying, you're not going to be able to pay attention to anything that they're saying. If you are in conflict with somebody else who's standing near you, your situation as a whole, the energies, you're not going to be able to pay attention to what the other person is saying, because your brain right now is focusing on the energies coming off the person that you're in conflict with. I am having a day. So, yesterday, I challenged you. When you interact with people, how do you communicate? Do you base everything solely on the words you speak? Or do you realize that your words might not be getting across, but you're also relying on facial expressions, you're also relying on body language, you're also relying on tonality and inflection? How do you communicate? And when you find yourself in conflict with somebody when you're communicating, how do you show them that you're in conflict? When you don't agree with somebody, how do you handle that? When I go to express my opinions on something, most of you will know this by now, and you'll be able to probably mimic the words as I say them. I could be totally off my rocker, and you can tell me to go fuck myself if you don't agree with this. Here's my opinion. I could be totally wrong, but in my opinion, tell me if I'm wrong. Here's what I think. I always lead in with the option of, if I am incorrect, please let me know. If this doesn't resonate with you, please let me know. I always pre-frame those sentences because I want you to know that I'm okay with discussion. I'm okay with you not agreeing with what I have to say. And many of you that are watching, I know you and I have had some amazing conversations that maybe we didn't agree with each other, but we were still able to communicate our opinions, and we were still respectable enough to understand, you know what, this is their model of the world, and that's okay, because it really doesn't affect me. Others I know I have had conversations with, and they were offended that I thought differently and that I was challenging them. And it's okay. You can... A friend of mine, James, shout out, his grandmother used to tell him, It's okay to disagree. Don't be disagreeable. So you can not agree with somebody, but don't be a dick. You can say, you know what, that's your opinion and I'm okay with that, but don't be a dick about it. Don't be disagreeable. You can say, I respect your opinion, I don't think the same way. And how you handle those situations of conflict will also determine how you communicate further. Because everything that is said to us, our unconscious takes personally. So you may not realize that you are accidentally offending somebody by saying, oh, okay, I get what you're saying, but neurolinguistically, when you start a sentence and you put the word but in there, you are negating everything that you previously said. I know I have done it before, and I am aware when I say something and I go to say but, and I will say, and a big old hairy but, because I want you to know that I'm aware that I'm negating everything I just said, because maybe it's in conflict with my model of the world. Am I the best communicator? Absolutely not. But am I able to get my point across? Am I able to have respectful conversations with people about some very sketchy topics and still feel confident in my opinion and know that when I walk away, I have done everything that I've been able to do to make my side of the conversation as conflict-free as possible? Absolutely. If the other side has decided to take offense to whatever I have said, okay, I'm sorry. That's unfortunate. And if I have offended you by saying something, you need to let me know so that I can then decide, did I respond incorrectly, or are you being overly sensitive and not open to my model of the world? I was supposed to do something on Sunday. I forgot. I was supposed to connect with somebody. And it wasn't a client, it wasn't like a paying client, it wasn't an appointment. It was just, hey, you know what, we haven't spoken for a while, and I kind of miss you and I want to Skype. Absolutely, let's do a video call. You know what, I got some shit going on this weekend, but I will email you and I will let you know a good time. I forgot. Legitimately, I forgot. I had shit going on that weekend, and I forgot to connect with them. And so they called me Sunday morning, and they said, hey, so what's going on? Are we Skyping today? Are we doing a thing? And I was like, oh shit, I am so sorry, I forgot. I don't have a good reason. I legitimately have stuff happening this weekend, and I apologize. I forgot. They got offended. And you could tell they got offended. You could tell in their voice, you could tell in their mannerisms, you could tell in the way the rest of the conversation went on. I apologized. I accepted the response of, yep, you know what, I'm sorry that I hurt you. I'm sorry that I forgot. And they decided that they were going to continue being begrudging. And even when I connected with them yesterday, they were still off-putting. You could tell that they were still offended. They were still angry about it. Okay, you know what? Sorry about your luck. If you can't accept made a mistake. I'm sorry. I apologized. I forgot. The one time that I have forgotten something that involved them in years, and you're going to hold it over me for 3 or 4 days, that's your own problem. That is your own energy that you're wasting. Or you can accept the fact that, hey, you know what? I'm glad that you are busy, because that means that you're happy. If you're busy, that means that you are doing stuff that you want to do, and you are in a better place than you were 6 months ago. If you're busy, if you are so busy that you forgot to connect with me, that means that you're connecting with other people. But, and a big old hairy butt. That's not their model of the world. And so how you communicate with people will also decide how they respect your model of the world. So to layer on my challenge from yesterday. My challenge from yesterday was, how much do you rely on your words for communication? How much do you rely on getting your point across on just your words alone? And how many times is that causing conflict? The layer onto that for today is, what is your posture like when you talk to people? What is your posture like when you are communicating with somebody? Mark, I don't know if you're still in the chat. If you are, I'm going to use you as an example, because I love you, buddy. Mark is probably 3 times the size of me. He's like 6 foot ridiculous. I can hide behind him and have full cover. Am I intimidated by Mark when we have conversations? I used to be Mark's manager, and I used to have difficult conversations with Mark. Was I intimidated by him? No. Because we respected each other. I'm calling you out, Mark. We respected each other. And intimidation factor, just because he's 6 foot ridiculous and he looks down on me and he's the size of Grog from Critical Role, and I might be the size of Scanlan in comparison, that doesn't mean that I'm intimidated by him, because we respect each other. So how do you hold yourself when you speak to people? When you communicate, are you intimidating? Are you rolling an intimidation check every time you speak to your kids? Are you rolling an intimidation check every time you talk to somebody at work? Or are you open? Are you comfortable? Are you approachable? How you present yourself is the next step next to the words. Because not only when we hear, that's great, 7%. The next immediate thing is our visuals. If we see how you are holding yourself, then we will decide how much of the next step we are going to be paying attention to. Again, words. Words are only 7%. The physical nature of how we communicate is the next major percentage. It's actually at 45%, which is huge. 45% of what we say is portrayed by physical, how we hold ourselves. And now you're probably sitting there saying, oh, she's just making up statistics. 85% of statistics are made up. I got these statistics from my teacher of neurolinguistics. Are these statistics legitimate? I have no idea. But the number factor doesn't mean anything. It is the layers of communication that we're discussing this week. So, my challenge to you to layer on from yesterday, when you speak to people, how do you hold yourself? Is it with confidence? Or is it with intimidation? Is it scared? Or is it approachable? How do you hold yourself? And tomorrow, hopefully, all things considered, tomorrow we're going to talk about inflection. Tomorrow we're going to talk about how our words, based on what we emphasize and based on the inflection and the tonality, how that is then layered on with the words that we say and the physical nature, or then we're going to talk about the tonality and the inflection of the words themselves. But enough with the lectures, enough with the English class, if you will. I do always want to end these streams with some meditation, because that is the whole point of this. And that being said, this is also a good time for morning meditation to get ourselves ready for the day. And now that we've challenged ourselves, we've built an anchor, we have positivity, let's meditate and let's get all of that positive energies into ourselves so that we can continue the day on a positive. How does that sound? So as always, if you have any questions about any of the material that I was talking about today, please feel free to reach out. And if you want to participate in any of the variety streams that are coming up next week, let me know. If there's something that you specifically want to see, like if there's, hey, let's do a paint day. Let's paint some minis on stream. Okay, I can figure out how to do that. Or, let's write an RPG together. Let's write an encounter. Let's play an RPG together, you know? Let's get some variety in here. And you know what? Let's start the conversations. So again, if you like what you see, if you want to support the community, if you want to support me, you can find my patron, Live with Advantage, on Patreon. You can find all of my contact information on my website at thewobobos.livewithadvantage.com. And as soon as I figure out how to get Streamlabs working, you will be able to donate bits and tips and all sorts of other fun stuff. And don't forget, you also have your Amazon free Prime Twitch subscription, so you can hit that little subscribe button. You can also gift the subscription to somebody else if you so choose. It's thanks to you guys that I am able to do this, and it's thanks to you guys that we are able to do this. So, with that, let's take our last bit of coffee, milk tea, juice, or food, whatever kind of breakfast material you are currently consuming. Find somewhere comfy. It's Tuesday, so maybe that means laying on the floor. Or maybe that means hanging out somewhere else. If it's in a chair, make sure that you're comfy, and just make sure that wherever you're hanging out, you're not going to be disturbed for about 15 or 20 minutes. Make sure that any jewelry you're wearing or any clothing is not too tight, not too uncomfortable, or it might become uncomfortable while you're in the middle of meditation. And let me know how you guys feel about this new stream music. I kind of like it. I think it's got a little more of a a journey sound to it, opposed to the super relaxing previous music, let me know. Feedback is always welcome, and you guys know how to get a hold of me. So, I invite you now to close your eyes as we begin our morning meditation. If you're sitting in a chair, make sure your feet are flat on the floor. If you're laying down, just shift a little bit so that you're not going to be disturbed as you lay there. Be kind to yourself. Know that for the next 15-20 minutes, however long you want this to last, this is about you. This is about your relaxation. And no matter how you do this, is perfect for you. Your thoughts will come, and that's okay. Gently show them gratitude, acknowledge them, and just bring your awareness back to your breath so you can continue on. And let go of any expectations. Let go of, when I finish this meditation, I am going to have a higher sense of being, or higher sense of self. This is calm. This is relaxation. This is to help you center yourself and be ready for the day. Bring your awareness to your breath. Inhale through your nose, starting with your belly and then your chest. Just hold for a moment and then release, starting with your chest and then your belly. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in through your nostrils, filling your belly with the positive energies, and then your chest. Pause at the top of this inhale and feel the energy flow through you. Breathe out through your mouth. Pause at the end of the exhale and just listen to the silence. Again, if you find your thoughts wandering, that's okay. Gently bring your awareness back to the morning meditation. Bring awareness to the rise and fall of your chest, pausing at the end of each inhale to relax. Now, take a deep, genuine yawn. You can fake a yawn until one comes in. And as you exhale after the yawn, allow your breathing to return to a normal pace, and just notice the natural rhythm of your breath. Bring your attention to the top of your head. Relax the muscles at the top, the sides, the back of your head. Move to your forehead and soften it. Soften the eyebrows, the eyes, your ears, your cheeks. Let your jaw relax, tongue, your lips. Unclench your jaw. Bring your attention to the throat. Allow the muscles surrounding it to relax. Soften the back of the neck. Move your attention to your shoulders and do the same. Focus on your upper arms, forearms, hands, relaxing each as you go. Relax each finger, the thumb, your index finger, the middle finger, ring finger, pinky. Relax the palm of your hands. Bring your awareness to your chest. Soften the muscles that make up the chest wall. Feel gravity push out that last breath. Relax your belly, your lower abdomen. Move to the top of your back. Relax the muscles around your shoulder blades, the middle part of your back, and the lower part all the way down to the buttocks. Relax your right thigh, the muscles around your knee, the front of your leg, your calf muscle, your right ankle, your right foot and toes. Relax your left thigh, the muscles around your left knee, the front of your leg, your calf, your ankle, your foot and toes. Bring your attention into your whole body. Notice any sensations you may feel. Bring your gentle attention to any area that you would like to relax further. Scan your entire body as you breathe, feeling gravity gently pushing on your relaxed muscles. And let your whole being settle into this morning practice. As the morning sun rises, feel its warm rays of light infusing you with beautiful yellow energy. Allow the ribbons of light to surround your body, relaxing it. Observe your breath, your calm breathing. If you find that your thoughts take you somewhere else, that's okay. Acknowledge them, show them gratitude, and come back to the breath. Feel your chest rise with each inhale. Notice the parts of the body that gently move. Notice your chest and abdomen as you exhale. Feel the parts of your body that move. With each breath, feel the morning energy gently waking your entire body. Notice any sensations you might feel. Breathe in, sending oxygen to your head and face. Exhale. Breathe and send life-giving air to your neck, shoulders, and chest muscles. Allow them to take in the air and get ready for the day. Breathe and send oxygen to your entire back. Allow those muscles to awaken. Breathe. Send the oxygen to your abdomen and thighs. Breathe. Send energy from your breath to the legs to power you through the day. Breathe. Allow the sun's rays to infuse you with the energy you need to begin your day. Now, allow the energy from the air you breathe and the warm rays to begin to power you up for the whole day. Breathe into your heart. Send golden energy to your heart center in gratitude for the beginning of this new day. Bring your awareness to your breath and just remain focused on your breathing for the next couple of moments. Thoughts are okay. When you realize your thoughts have taken you elsewhere, just gently come back to the breath. Slowly bring your awareness to the other energies in the room. Allow your conscious mind to hear the noises of those surrounding you, the building, even the noises outside. Gently bring your awareness to yourself. Slowly move your fingers. Slowly move your toes. Roll your wrists, your ankles. Stretch your arms high above your head and feel the oxygen in your relaxed shoulder muscles. And with one final positive breath, open your eyes and be ready to face this new day. This ends our morning meditation. As always, thank you for joining me. Thank you for hanging out.